Okay, when the log nuts are loose, we have to jack the car a little bit up. Don't forget to put emergency brake on. Alright. Using 17mm socket, you need to remove the caliper. Use the brake bar, because the bolts are very tight. To make the 17mm nut loose, we use the brake bar. When we make it loose, we using the ratchet and installing 17mm socket on it. You also have to put two towers underneath the car, just in case if your hydraulic jack will fail. The bolt that is holding the caliper on top, we removed using the brake bar and a ratchet. But to remove the lower bolt, it was too tight. That's why we used the small ratchet. We was trying to put the impact gun, but it's not enough space. We put the ratchet, the small ratchet, and we put the hose on top. And we make it loose, doing like this, counterclockwise. So right now we removed two bolts which are holding the caliper. Right now we can remove the caliper. So since we removed the caliper, we need to replace the brake pads. To replace the brake pads, we need to unclip the pads. First of all, you need to unclip this one and then this one. Then using the C-clamp, you need to compress the caliper piston. After the caliper piston is compressed, you can proceed to install the new brake pads. To mount the caliper, you can use the zip ties. To remove two stubborn bolts which are holding the rotor on place, you need to use the screwdriver. You need to put the exactly correct size to make these two bolts loose, because they're very tight, and if you will put incorrect screwdriver on side, you will just strip the bolt. So using this tool, using this tool and a ratchet, remove these two bolts. Removing the upper bolt, control clockwise, pretty tight, using the brake bar. It's very stubborn, that's why take your time. So it's pretty stubborn, but it's already loose. After you make it loose with the brake bar, remove the socket from the brake bar and install the socket to the ratchet. And control clockwise, remove the bolt which is attaching the caliper to the rotor. And to remove the lower bolt, you need to use the hose, putting the ratchet, the small ratchet, then installing the hose on top to give it more strength, and control clockwise, removing the lower bolt which is attaching the caliper to the rotor. The lower bolt which is attaching caliper to the rotor is removed. Then using the ratchet control clockwise, remove it completely to remove the caliper. And the one that is on top. and remove the caliper out from your way. Then, using the adapter, since we are also replacing the rotors, we need to remove these two stubborn bolts, control clockwise, which is holding the rotor itself.